We now come to the award that we give every year, which is, I think, a really important testament of the depth and length and contribution that our alumni contribute towards the university, alumni that you will very soon join. So I call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Chris Pole, to introduce this year's Alumni of the Year, Roger Cowdrey.
Distinguished guests, graduates, families and friends, it's my honour to present our Alumnus of the Year. When the university considers this award, it looks at those individuals who reflect the values that are important to us at Brighton: creativity, sustainability, partnership and inclusivity. This year's award goes to such an individual. Roger Cowdrey has had successful multiple careers working in teaching, in multinational IT, in supporting entrepreneurs, and as an international consultant, helping to establish entrepreneurial support organisations in Europe and the Middle East. He has combined this work with an extensive media career, including appearing on business programmes for the BBC and international media, and has published a number of articles. Roger is particularly passionate about the need for entrepreneurship in the 21st century and, in his view, the failure of the education system to foster the necessary skills. To that end, he regularly speaks at conferences, business meetings, and universities in order to promote this subject. His first book, Creating an Entrepreneurial Mindset, was published in early 2013, and this was followed by a further title, The Alternative Business Model, in 2015. Roger has maintained close ties with the university since he graduated, first of all, from what was Brighton College of Education back in the summer of 1968, and that was an eventful time to be a graduate. He's one of a group of generous sponsors of our annual Breakthrough Awards, a student prize scheme designed to support and encourage second-year undergraduate students through what can be the most challenging phase of their studies. And he also speaks at events organised as part of our Be Purple programme, which supports students to develop their own business ideas. From all of this, you can see that Roger is a person of many talents, deep convictions, and is passionate about helping others, especially our students, to succeed. For all of you graduating today, Roger embodies the fact that you never stop being a member of the University of Brighton community. And just as importantly, the value of reaching out a hand to all of those who come after you. Distinguished guests, graduates, families and friends, in recognition of his long and successful career in business and his work as an international business consultant, writer and motivational speaker, it is my honour to present our Alumnus of the Year, Roger Cowdrey.
Roger, in recognition of your fantastic career and your generosity and continuing contribution to the university, I am delighted to make you Alumnus of the Year.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask you to address the audience?
You have to forgive me, at 72, I need to put my glasses on. Vice-Chancellor, Chair, distinguished guests, graduates, families and friends, may I say what a pleasure it is to be back here after over 50 years to receive this award and to speak to you today. But for those of you that are looking for inspiring platitudes that you can carry through your life as a sort of beacon to happiness, may I suggest you go on social media. Whilst not wishing to put a dampener on today's proceedings, I come with some very bad news. However much you know today, you haven't seen anything yet. When I left here in the 1960s, Nokia was still making toilet rolls, and the height of my technology was a Betamax video recorder. In fact, when I look at you today, I am reminded when somebody asked me a few years ago, how old would I ideally like to be? And I said, I'd like to be the same age as my son. And they said, why is that? I said, well, he knows everything. But my time at college was also a time when my knowledge of how to impart learning centered on a lifetime of mathematics teaching. What I had not realized was that being here had not defined my future career, but had simply given me the capacity and desire to continue learning. Although I would not dream of being so pompous as to tell you what you should do with your lives, I can at least tell you what I've learnt while continuing to enjoy such a fun and fulfilling life. Firstly, enjoy today and celebrate your success in what you've learnt so far, but expect to carry on learning from tomorrow morning for the rest of your life. Secondly, don't try and join the dots going forward. By that I mean that in such a fast-changing world, you cannot predict the opportunities that will appear if you keep your mind open. For example, looking back from now, I can see a path to my writing books, as early as my time on the college newspaper and my creating of the fictitious Northumberland scheme in my second year to avoid the wrath of an education lecturer, but it never occurred to me at the time. Unfortunately, time does not allow me to go into detail, but if you ask me afterwards about the Northumberland scheme, which was incidentally totally fictitious, I will give you a laugh. Thirdly, I discovered that there would be many opportunities that came my way if I kept my mind open. Grabbing such opportunities would usually involve some risk, would invariably involve some learning, and would involve leading the security of what I knew. But the rewards were usually worth it. I also discovered that a good support network is critical when deciding to jump off a metaphorical cliff. The last 20 years has involved many such moments, and I am lucky to have a wife that has always been prepared to support me, some would say, push me off the metaphorical cliff. Most importantly, adventures such as the ones I have had require a high level of creativity. We were all born creative, and we need to find that creativity again if we are to survive in this ever fast-changing world. Einstein once defined creativity as intelligence having fun. Those certificates in front of you tell you that you have the intelligence. Now you need to regain that sense of fun. So tonight, when you are doubtless having just the odd glass or two, please do me a favor and grab a napkin. Start showing that you're getting your creativity back by drawing an alien. I use this a lot in lectures because you don't have to be afraid. This is the one piece of creativity where you will not be wrong. No one's ever seen an alien, so let's see if we can cover Brighton with aliens tonight. Finally, you may notice, if you see me outside, that I carry a little bee badge with me everywhere, and I promised your new alumnus boss that I would explain why today. This is because I like to remember the bumblebee, because if one goes to university to study aerodynamics, you will discover that the bumblebee is the wrong shape. It is too heavy, its wings are too small, and it flaps them too slowly. In other words, it cannot fly, and yet for two reasons it does. Firstly, He was turned down by university to study aerodynamics, and secondly, he believed he could. If, like the bumblebee, you want to do something, then go for it. And when you get to my advanced age, I really hope that you can look back and say, well, I never expected that, but it was a hell of a fun journey. Thank you.